I'm Chap Petersen. I have people say, sometimes I just got elected to the state senate. They said, should I call you senator-elect or should I call you senator? And I said, just call me Chap, because that's what I want to be, is just Chap. But I'm here to talk about Phil. I met Phil, I believe it was 6 years ago. I was in the Young Democrats. I had just been elected to the state legislature, and I spoke at their convention in Harrisonburg. And I remember afterwards, someone came up to me, and it was Phil, and he introduced himself, and he said he was a teacher in the Peninsula area, and he said that he was thinking about running for the House of Delegates, and how did you go about it? And I thought, there's a moment in Scripture where Jesus tells people kind of what they have to do, and they're like, whoa, I ain't gonna do that. And there's always kind of that moment you have where you tell a candidate what they have to do, and they're like, whoa, I don't know if I can do that. Well, I said, listen, if you're gonna run for the House of Delegates, you have to basically dedicate every weekday after work and every weekend to knocking on doors. I said, no vacations, family time, hobbies, put it aside, because you need to dedicate that time to knocking on doors. He's like, okay, what else? I was like, all right. And so I knew at that time that Phil had the dedication to really be a great candidate for the House of Delegates, and he was a great candidate. Unfortunately, it was a really tough district, but he came very close. And then I met Philip again when I was running for lieutenant governor. He came down, he showed me, or I came down, he showed me around Williamsburg. I met a bunch of people down there, and we kept in touch. And my candidacy was unsuccessful, but we stayed in touch afterwards. I remember he sent me an email. He wanted me to go skydiving with him. I don't even remember you remember that. I was like, I don't know, that's a little bit too much for me. But we stayed in touch, and then he let me know, and this was, gosh, about 2 years ago, that he had been called up and he was going to Iraq. And he didn't say that because he was looking for any sort of sympathy, or he wasn't asking me, you know, for any praise to him, but he wanted to know if I could check in on his family while he was going to be away. And I thought the way he phrased it, I thought showed a lot of integrity. And the thing about Philip that's impressed me, and I've met him several times now and seen him in action, is not only is he a hard worker, but he's a man of integrity. And in politics, so often you have people that they'll tell people what they want to hear, or they'll say what they think what people want to hear. Philip's the type of guy that once he's in office, you can take his word to the bank.